Hey there guys, welcome to Melbourne, Australia. In some of my previous videos, I've been teasing my new backpack. This is the Lowepro ProTactic 450 AW. And I've been saying that I'd kind of get my thoughts and make a video. So this is exactly what that video is. I'm gonna run through what I think about it now that I've been using it for a couple of months. If you're new to my channel, hey there, my name's Joe Allam and I'm a travel photographer creating videos about the creative travel lifestyle. Let's go. So we're currently in the Docklands area of Melbourne and we've been waiting for the sun to just dip down to the golden hour. Maybe going to get a few shots here if there's something that's kind of interesting. Otherwise I'll just run you through the bag. So maybe if we just walk along down here, see what we can find. Plenty of nice yachts, that's for sure. So I've actually been through quite a few different camera bags, and let me tell you this, there is not a single perfect camera bag as much as I've tried looking for one. So I've been through quite a few different Lowepro bags, even a Manfrotto bag, and various messenger style ones. I personally prefer the backpack ones, especially when I'm traveling between, long distances. And this bag is probably the closest I've come to having a perfect bag, but there's still a few things that kind of disappoint me with it. First and foremost though, this is actually the most comfortable bag I've ever had. It just feels so snug when it's on your back. And also it's really protective, so the actual side compartments and everything just feel like a solid shell, and it feels like it's actually protecting the cameras so much more than any of my other bags. So I actually find the styling of this bag to be so much less obtrusive and cumbersome than other camera bags. Yes, it still kind of looks like a camera bag, but in comparison to other ones, it's kind of a little bit more subdued. So it's very simple in its design, yet it's actually really practical as well. So the straps on this bag are actually pretty comfortable. Even though they might look really thin compared to other bags, they're actually super comfortable. And having that sternum strap is something that I always look for in a camera bag. Unfortunately, my last camera bag, which was the one from Manfrotto, never actually had this, which I really felt the strain on my shoulders. So it kind of just keeps things in together, and over a prolonged period of time, the weight of the bag can actually stretch your shoulders out, so it's nice to have that support on your sternum. I should probably point out this, by the way, this is the Peak Design Capture Pro, and using the Sony that Ellie's filming with, I can actually just slot it in like that and hold a camera there. This bag does have a waist strap as well, but I've taken that off because I personally find it gets in the way more than I actually benefit from using it. So let's have a look inside it. So this bag has what's known as a flip side opening, which opens from the back, and then various compartments that are all easy to configure and move around. So I was never really sure about flip side openings for bags. Generally I've always liked a bag that I can take off and just put on the ground and kind of have it flat. Having it reversed, always kind of questioned whether it was going to be good or not, but I can say that having used this for a couple of months and whilst traveling as well, I actually prefer being able to put the bag down backwards rather than laying it down flat. It's also more secure because the zip opening is directly on the flat of your back, so it's not actually accessible from anyone from behind you. Now, one thing I find with camera bags is it's actually very hard to find a configuration that works for you. You can honestly spend hours trying to work it out, and I definitely have done that with every camera bag I've owned, because I always like to have an area in the top where I can kind of put day gear, whether that's like a bit of food, some extra layers of clothing or something, just generally something I can just throw things in that isn't going to affect my camera gear. So this main area here is where I had my 7D Mark II with the 24-70. I've also got a space just here which is big enough to fit in a 70-200 f2.8. Now I don't always carry this with me, but I've just got it here today to show you the space it fits in. Now this isn't really a what's in my camera bag video, but whilst we're here anyway, we've also got the 16-35 f4, that's got the image stabilizer, and I've also got the Metabones adapter so I can use it on the Sony that Ellie's filming with right now. Microphone, and then plenty of other space, and Ellie's Fuji's in there. So in the lid for the bag, we've got various different pouches here. Now these all feel really rugged and really well made. However, they're not that spacious. So yes, this is kind of big, but it really isn't that deep inside. Now I've managed to fit in just some postcards with, various details of everything on here, but you can't actually fit that much else in there. Now these top ones in particular, they're really quite small, but they don't expand that much. That's not even big enough for a filter, unfortunately, which is why I have to keep it in the main compartment. So I personally like to have a bag that's got various little pockets and everything, either around the outside or within the actual bag itself, because you can fit various little trinkets and cables and all sorts of stuff in it. This bag really doesn't have that, unfortunately, and that's something I definitely miss compared to my other ones. Like I said, you can never get a perfect camera bag, and that's just one of the downfalls of this one. There is also a little section within the lid for a 15-inch laptop. Now I can fit my MacBook Pro in here. It is a little bit tight sometimes when the rest of the bag is packed. Yeah, generally I wouldn't really want to go out shooting with my Mac in there because it can start to feel physically tight on your back when everything's kind of pressing, especially with it being the flip side opening. So let's zip this up and I'll show you the 4 different ways you can use to get into this bag. So we've obviously got the back section here. We've also got the top turret opening, and in here you could have access to another camera if you configured it that way. As I said earlier, I like to just throw day gear and just other stuff that you got quick access to. Within the lid, we've also got another zip here, and I actually just keep a pouch with various batteries and memory cards and other stuff. Just like that. This is the Lowepro Deluxe Media Kit, by the way. There's also this little section here, which they say is for a memory card, but honestly, who's going to carry just one memory card? It's kind of a bit pointless to me. So I should probably point out this top shell is actually kind of like a physical hard case, which definitely feels really well protected. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the bag itself is very subtly designed as a camera bag. It's got all these little loops here, and you can fit in different pouches as part of the slip lock range. It comes with a couple of straps, so you could put a tripod in here, but personally I wouldn't do it on the back because that's the way that you put the bag down. So I actually use one of the straps, and at the moment I've just got the GorillaPod focus in here, and it also comes with a bottle holster which doubles up as a tripod foot. So the other opening to the bag is round the side. So you could actually zip this open when it's on your back, and you can spin around nice and easily and take out whatever gear you have in that section. Likewise, there's another one round the other side. So we've also got a couple of pouches on the side here, and these are the only pockets on the actual exterior of the bag. There's a nice little elasticated divider in there, and I've just got a microfiber cloth and some other bits. It's not that big, but it's big enough if you just want to put like quick access to a few things in here. As a guide, on my other bag, I used to keep a GoPro in the pocket in this sort of location. Unfortunately, that doesn't fit in this pocket here. And likewise, we've got another one around the other side. So as I mentioned earlier, the bag itself is really well made and feels solid. It actually feels like it's going to protect things really well. Now, one feature that I really love about this bag is at the very bottom, we've actually got an extra handle here. This has been super helpful. When you're putting it into overhead storage on a plane, you can literally put it in and drag it out with that handle. This is actually quite often overlooked on other camera bags, so I'm glad this is here. Really quite handy. And also, this is an AW bag, which means it's an all-weather bag. So we've got a rain cover that just sits in underneath, just like that. So the rain cover just kind of pulls over, just like that. In hot conditions, this would also double up as a sun reflector because it's obviously a nice light color. So on the strap itself, we've got these plastic D-rings. Now, I don't personally use them, but I know that they're there if you want to attach a camera strap to your bag rather than around your neck. Again, that's a nice feature to have because it shows that they're just thinking about all eventualities of using this bag. Let's just run through some of my final thoughts on the bag itself. So first and foremost, I really love Lowepro bags. I've used them a lot, I've gone away from them, and I've come back to them, and I just find the quality of their bags is second to none, really. So I know finding the right camera bag is quite personal, and everyone's got their own different requirements of what they need and what they need it to fit. Now, this bag holds everything that I need it to fit, plus a few extra things, and I'm able to configure it to make sure everything fits comfortably and as how I like it. There are a few downsides, as I mentioned, with some of the pockets and other things, but overall I feel like it generally just fits my requirements for what I need. So I'm glad that I bought it, and I can definitely recommend it if you have a similar amount of gear to what I use. It's perfect for traveling, it feels solid, it holds everything nice and protected. Overall, I'm fully happy with it, and I'd recommend it to other people. I think my favorite feature of the bag is the ability to clip things on the outside around the back. So quite often I might have, say, like an umbrella clip to it, an extra pouch, maybe a hat, something that's just kind of dangling off it. I've got loads of options to do that. And you generally don't see that with other bags, so that's definitely a feature that I really enjoy with this one. So I think overall we can leave it at that. I finally found a bag that fits pretty much my requirements about 90%, and I'm happy with that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. I make plenty of videos about travel and photography and generally all things creative. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Cheers!